Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sweet Regency Ramblings. Today's topic is about Emma, the movie, and all the adaptations. We're going to discuss which ones are the best ones, according to us, and which ones are lacking, according to us.
Because we know all. We are the authority.
We are.
For sure. Like the Pride and Prejudice one, this is purely opinion. So if somebody disagrees, it's fine. Okay. So in the comments, we want you guys to make sure to ask questions about the adaptations that you want us to answer, or your opinions, and we'll read them out as they come. Get involved as much as you want, because we always love the questions in the comments. Okay, let's just start out first by saying what our favorite Emma adaptations are. Who wants to start? I choose Mindy. What's your favorite?
My favorite Emma adaptation is the one with Johnny Lee Miller. I think we already knew that, though.
We did. I think everyone watching knows this. What about you, Jess and Martha?
I like the Gwyneth Paltrow one.
Do you?
It's my favorite.
Was that the first one you saw?
It was. I'm so sentimental like that.
So funny. I do love that one. What about you, Martha?
Yeah, that was the first one I watched, but I actually prefer the 2009 one with Romola Gary and Johnny Lee Miller.
Is that how you say her first name?
I didn't know how you said it until I watched something where it announced the actors, and it was Romola Gary, and I was like, who? And then I was like, oh, that's how you say it.
Romola Gary.
Yeah.
Gary.
That is
that's how they said it on that. So I've gone with that.
Because I was always like, Romola Garai?
I know, yeah.
I don't even know her name. So I just call it Johnny Lee Miller. He's the only one getting credit in it for me. In fact, someone once said the Romola Emma, and I was like, is that some Romanian one, or what is the deal with that? I've never even heard of that one.
Romanian.
And then I looked it up and was like, oh, it's the same one as Johnny Lee Miller. Okay.
Oh, that is funny.
What about you, Deborah?
That one's my favorite too. So I saw the Gwyneth Paltrow one first as well, and I will always love that one.
Yeah.
But there's the fact that was I'm not even gonna say her name, Johnny Lee Miller. The fact that it is that whole thing, because it's so long and detailed, and you just get so much more of the characters, and you get just so much more. And longer is always better when it's according to me, isn't it? Let's see. Okay, those of you who are just starting to join in, make sure you ask your questions if you have any, and your opinions about your favorite Emma adaptation. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be the same thing. So who do you have a favorite Emma that's different from your favorite movie, or is that your favorite Emma?
Oh, you mean the actual
favorite movie? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does that make sense? Because mine is still Romola.
Romola, yeah.
I can't say that word. That's so weird. I like her the most as Emma, because I think she played it with because some of them are just some of them portray him as she's just very, very conceited, but I really like the way that they played her, because she was trying to be confident, but she was just a little bit nonsensical kind of, and she was just kind of overcompensating. So I really like that about her. I made her a lot more likable than just being totally conceited in herself, but because it could be read anyway, based on
I felt the same way. I just she was a little bit more likable or human to me than some of the other ones, though I really do I don't know, I like all of them for different reasons, but I felt most attached to that Emma after watching it. So yeah.
Jess, do you like Gwyneth Paltrow still the most?
I do still like her the most. But I mean, I like them all, like how Martha said, for different reasons. But Gwyneth Paltrow, I think she does it perfect just with her, because she's such a spoiled brat, but there's such an innocence, endearing feature in her that you're just like, oh, I hate you and I love you.
Yes. Yeah. She has some of the most, I think that show has some of the funniest scenes, because she plays it super funny. And there are some quotes that I don't think are in the book, but some of my favorite quotes come from that.
Same here. Yeah. We quote a lot from that in my family, from that movie.
Me too. Yeah. My favorite is when I just forgot her name. The old maid, Miss Bates. Yeah. When she says, pork to her mother.
Yeah, we do that one all the time too.
Whenever we eat it for dinner.
Pork, mother.
Oh, so funny. Let's see. Oh, I just had another question now. I can't remember what it was. Oh, okay. So there are basically 4 adaptations, right? About Emma? Right?
Yeah, I mean the ones
there's exactly the most important ones are. So we've got like the Kate Beckinsale.
Beckinsale, yeah.
Beckinsale. Have you guys seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Jess has Martha, has Mindy?
I'm not sure if I have.
It came out the same year
once.
as the Gwyneth Paltrow one.
The same year?
Yeah.
The same year, 1996.
Yeah, late in that year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
That one. Sorry, I just the guy who plays Knightley in it, Mark Strong. I didn't see it until I had watched Stardust, and he plays Septimus in that. And so when I saw him as Knightley, I was like, nope.
I literally wrote that down to talk about that because that is my one issue with it. Because I was watching it and I was like, oh, like he's the bad guy. He can't be Knightley, and he's so angry. And yeah, I can't really do that one. That's funny that you thought the same way. He's also like the bad guy in Shazam, I think, or something like that. And yeah,
he just looks like a bad guy.
He does. It can't be Knightley and be a bad guy.
Mark Strong, if you're watching this.
You're very handsome. I'm sure he is watching it for sure. Let's see. Okay, and then there's the Gwyneth Paltrow one we talked about, Kate Beckinsale, the Johnny Lee Miller one, and then the Anya Taylor-Joy, is that her name? Yeah, the newest one. So I think there are a lot of mixed opinions about that one. Do you guys have mixed opinions, or do you have a solid opinion? Let's start with Mindy.
My opinion on the current one?
Yes.
I thought it was fine. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, that Knightley, he's just too unkept for me.
Scruffy looking.
Well, yeah, I mean, his hair is just always like, looks like he just like got out of a wind tunnel. And I'm like, to me, that is not Knightley. Knightley was like so put together, and not necessarily that he was like vain or anything, but it was just like, he was proper.
Yeah.
And proper was not like hair all over the place, laying on his floor with his pants off kind of guy. That just wasn't Knightley to me. So I had a hard time with him. I didn't mind. I liked Emma. Yeah. And I will say this Emma probably had some of my favorite supporting characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think it was my favorite father by far. He was hysterical.
He's super funny.
And I also really liked Ms. Bates in this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
She's good. Yeah.
So this one there were parts of it that were up there as one of my favorites. But Knightley, no.
Couldn't get on board with him.
Couldn't get on board. Nope.
Yeah, no, I had just watched Les Mis, the miniseries, and he's Felix in Les Mis, so like the one who gets Fantine pregnant and leaves her. And so I just had a distaste in my mouth. I'm like, you're a bad guy.
That is funny. Yeah, I hadn't seen that one, so I didn't have an opinion about him before I watched it. But he wasn't my favorite. I had a hard time with the Harry thing. And I'm like all for Harry, because I mean, like, I like Poldark and like I like beards, and my husband's got a beard and stuff, so I'm all for Harry. But if it's kempt Harry, then I think it's a lot easier to take. Yeah, because his seemed to grow like all over, and was like stringy. Yeah. I'm gonna offend somebody. I like beards. What were you saying, Martha? You have strong opinions about it?
Oh, I just have mixed opinions. Like, obviously, visually, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I thought there were some really fun things. I love Miss Bates. I had watched her in Call the Midwife and loved her, so I was super excited when I saw she was cast as Miss Bates. But I didn't love what was his name? Johnny Flynn, is that the guy's name that played Knightley? Yeah. And then, I mean, the kiss scene I didn't love.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just mixed feelings about it.
The costuming though was amazing.
Yeah.
I was watching it with Deborah and a bunch of other Regency authors, and we were like, "Oh, was that really a thing?"
Yeah.
Some
like
of
the
costumes
collars.
Like,
yes, those are so
I know the little collars with like nothing underneath it. We were like, "Is that accurate?"
Yeah.
The murmuring through the theater as we were watching it was kind of fun.
And then the weird little headpieces like sticking out and like bows out the back and stuff. Yeah,
like Mrs. Elton.
Oh, Mrs. Elton was intense. Yeah,
she was, and she was one that I was like, okay, is that style really historical, or are they just like, because she was almost clownish.
Yeah.
I mean, like those super starched curls that were just like, I'm like, they did not have dippity doo back then. So how did they really get that super, I mean, I almost thought she would look more like a Who.
It's true.
She did.
Then she did a Jane Austen character, but I don't know. So I'm not sure that was historically accurate, and I haven't had time to research it enough. But
I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of. Go ahead, Jess.
No, I was going to say I read an article that a lot of the costuming was historically accurate. Whether it's like on the extreme end of it, I'm not sure, because I'm like, you don't see a lot of those in like portraits and stuff, but the article did say that it was very historically accurate in their costuming.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, and I liked it. Oh no, Deborah, your turn.
You liked what? No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I liked that one, and I felt like it played on like Jane Austen being such like a great comedian, and like the satire that she had of society and everything. I think that one, like, the others are so soft and more romantic and they have fun parts, but this is like, I feel like you saw some of Jane Austen that you don't see in other versions necessarily. So I thought it was fun.
Yeah, that's actually super true. I think that was my favorite part about it. The fact how much we laughed during it, because it is so funny. Like, it is just a genuinely funny show. I think that was my favorite part. And the costumes, again, even if they are at the other end of the spectrum with the styles and everything, like, they were just so pretty. And like her police, the yellow one, so pretty. And I think it was the Spencer that was kind of tan cream, and it had all those ornate, intricate with her sleeves and everything. I was like, man, so one of these days I'm gonna pay someone to make that. I certainly couldn't. Let's be honest. What about the clothing in the other shows? Do you notice any of the other clothing?
No,
because I think the Johnny Lee Miller one, I love the clothes, the dresses in those, because they're very simple, but they're so pretty. I love those clothing.
I don't know that they're stand out.
No,
I think they're ones that they're pretty, and I think when you watch it, you go, "Oh, that's so pretty." But I don't think they're ones that after you watch it that you go, "Oh, do you remember?" like you do in this Emma.
Yeah,
because they just seem very typical of what we think of Regency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
At least
I feel like all three of the other ones are similar. Like that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, this is probably going to be answered as well. Who's your favorite Knightley? Those of you watching, make a comment. I know there are some of you who are watching. I can see you.
Okay, mine's a tie.
Do what?
Mine's a tie.
Oh, really?
And we're going to delve into a little different here. But
okay, let's do it.
We're going Knightley. Johnny Lee Miller. Even though, I don't know.
That doesn't sound like a tie.
Johnny Lee Miller, acting-wise, I don't look at Johnny Lee Miller as a general rule and go, "Oh my heck, he's so hot."
Yes.
Because he's not. I mean, he's not. Let's just say that. He's not. But I do like the way he acts it. I think that he has that very proper and that very reserved personality, or very well. So I like the way he acts it. But as far as he's hot, I'm going to have to say Paul Rudd in Clueless.
That's cheating.
He might have to be my favorite Knightley. Because let's just say I'm a Paul Rudd fan.
But Paul Rudd back then is very different from Paul Rudd now, I feel like. Because when I watched Clueless, I did not think he was very attractive. But now I feel like Paul Rudd is more attractive.
He has definitely gotten better with age. I will agree with that. But even then, I still thought he was cute. He was cute. He wasn't like handsome. Yeah. But I did think he was cute.
I can agree on that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Stamp of approval. I actually am tied between Johnny Lee Miller and Jeremy Northam. I really like Jeremy Northam as Knightley, even though, interestingly, I did watch him first in a movie where he was the bad guy, called The Net with Sandra Bullock, and but I was able to
didn't even think that was the same person. Oh my heck, it is though.
Yeah. But I still somehow got on board with him as Knightley, and I don't know, there's something about him. Maybe it's just because it was the first one I watched, but I really like him in that one. But Johnny Lee Miller, he's just really sweet. So I don't know. I like both of those.
What about you, Jess? Favorite Knightley?
I'm just gonna stay loyal to Jeremy Northam.
Why do you like him?
Love him, and I love like the line when they were like at the ball, and she's like, we're not like brother and sister.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, we're not.
No, indeed.
Love it. Love it. And he's like gentle, and the only time you see him, like I feel like he's gentle most of the time with her, where other Knightleys, like Johnny Flynn, like I feel like he's always like in Emma's face, like, and constantly. And I feel like Jeremy Northam, he's more subtle in his delivery of all the lines until she offends Mrs. Bates or Miss Bates, and then he's like, poorly done, Emma, kind of thing, or badly done, and it's like there's just such feeling, like, and it's because he loves her.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's so true, because I don't think I ever noticed that, because he is completely like, he's not in her face about things. Like, he does tell her like when she messes up, but like in a slightly soft kind of gentle way. But and then at the very end he's like, that's a good point. Mine is I'm a toss up as well between Jeremy Northam and Johnny Lee Miller, I think, because I really like them both. And I think if they could just merge them in, then we should be easy. With the looks of Paul Rudd now, and that would be fine.
Of Ant-Man. With Ant-Man looks.
Oh, exactly. Okay, do you guys have favorite scenes in your favorite adaptation, or one of the adaptations, or do you have an overall favorite scene in all of them?
My favorite scene is when Mr. Knightley is visiting his brother, and Emma is talking to Mrs. Weston, and she's like talking about how he, what John, his Mr. Knightley's brother, will say, and she's just like walking back and forth, like doing these scenarios, and she's like, I hate John. I love John. I don't know why. Every time I am like busting up laughing. It has to be my favorite scene.
That's a really good
Love
scene.
that one. It's so good. That's so good. Mindy or Martha? Have you had time to think about it yet? This is tough. You don't have to go the all-time favorite. You can say just a memorable one.
Well, of course, because my favorite kiss is their kiss. Is the Johnny Lee Miller one. So even though his arms just hang at his side.
Well, just for the beginning, right?
Already.
Casey needs to be here so she can hear.
That's probably one of my favorites. Because I think it's just that culmination where all of a sudden it's like, oh, we really are not brother and sister. We just showed that we are not brother and sister.
So I just thought of the one with Gwyneth Paltrow, or I think in the Romola Gary one, it's fun too. But when they're at the Christmas party and she keeps being taken away from the conversation she wants to hear about Frank Churchill, about what's her name? It's a letter from what?
Oh no, I was gonna say Jane Fairfax, but no.
Right? Isn't it the letter from Jane Fairfax or something? She keeps getting pulled away, and she like misses all the important parts of the conversation. I really think that's a fun part.
Yeah.
Anything with Miss Bates. I really love Miss Bates in the Jeremy Northam one too, but it's kind of a toss up for me between her and Miranda Hart. They're so good.
Is Miranda Hart the one in the newest one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I really like the one who plays in the Johnny Lee Miller one, because she like I
remember her.
Because she just made me super sad. Like when Emma offends Miss Bates, like each time, like I've always been like, yeah, she is super annoying, so I understand why she'd say that annoying thing. But like in the Johnny Lee, not that I would say anything ever, or that I agree. I do not condone her behavior. But in the Johnny Lee Miller one, like the way she portrays it, like you can just see, like it's like, oh,
at her.
Yeah. And she was so sad and like just so hurt, and she tried to smile through it and everything. And like I think all of the Miss Bates in all the movies does that well, but that one in particular like really struck me because I was like, oh, that's so sad. You don't really get. Oh, it's depressing. Stupid Emma.
Rude.
Can I just say the thing I think is so interesting with the Emmas though is the way that his brother George and her sister are portrayed, because in a couple of them, then like in the Johnny Lee Miller one, then their relationship is portrayed more like a love match. You know, it starts out with him chasing her around the garden, and it seems more like a love match. But in the newer one, then it's portrayed more like
Not so happy.
more like it's one of those marriages. It reminded me a lot of in Sense and Sensibility of the daughter and the guy that they get. Seriously, I write words for a living, and I like have anyway,
you used them all up.
But it's true. But you know, when they get stranded at the guys at their house, and Marianne comes down with the fever. Anyway, that marriage, it reminds me very much of the way they portrayed George and her sister in this new Emma. It's more of that. He's annoyed by everything, and like he's annoyed when they're at the Christmas party, and I thought that was super interesting to see that difference. That some it's a love marriage, and some it's more like a marriage of convenience kind of thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway. Yeah, I wonder what Jane Austen really meant with it.
Yeah, I need to read the actual book.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting though, because knowing her father, Emma's father, I would be surprised if her sister would marry for convenience as opposed to marry for love, just because her father, unless her father drove her to marry for convenience because she wanted out. But they seem to love the father, so I would guess that it would only take love. Love would be the only thing that would take her out of the home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah. Jane's probably up there going, "No,
wrong.
They've got it all wrong."
Or maybe it started a love match and then she had children.
Yeah, maybe it went sour.
That could be. I hadn't thought of that. Thanks, Jess. Maybe the first is the beginning of the marriage, the Johnny Lee Miller, and the new Emma is after children.
What really?
Yeah. There you go. Maybe that's true.
I'm pretty sure my husband would say we had a love match when we first started out too.
Only when we started.
Then I had children.
In the book, did she really have that? Did she have a plethora of children?
I don't remember. I haven't read Emma for years.
She had a couple.
Did she? We'll have to read it over again. Maybe that's what we should have done. Oh no, this is movie adaptations. We'll do the Emma book next time. Let's see. Okay, so the engagement scenes. This will be the last thing we talk about, and then we'll stop. The engagement scenes. So we kind of briefly mentioned this in like the last time we did the kissing, period drama kissing thing, last rambling. But this is, so let's just talk about like our favorite engagement scenes and why. Or we could just talk about each engagement scene of the 4 and then talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. Does that sound good? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even wait for a response. Does that sound good?
We trust you, Deborah.
Okay, good. All right. We'll just kind of go. Let's just start with the Kate Beckinsale one. What did you like? Those of you who've seen it, or it's been a while, what did you like about the engagement scene and what did you not?
I didn't like Mark Strong.
It's just
sorry. I just tried to like rewatch that scene just because I figured we'd probably talk about it, but I didn't have enough time, so I ended up skipping through to the kiss, and I actually didn't watch the kiss because I was like, ugh. I just couldn't. So, not my favorite.
I feel the same way. Like I was like, I hadn't watched it in a really long time, and I just pulled it up before we started this, and I was like, I was like, I can't get into it. Probably a lot of it has to do with the Stardust villain, but like the fact that he's just very, it just seems kind of scripted the way they're talking. And it's just kind of like, okay, now I'll deliver my line and now I'll deliver my line kind of thing. And so it wasn't like super like heart stirring.
Yeah. And I felt like, I don't know, the kiss, just how it was kind of like this really slow thing, which in the other ones I feel like works because that you see this like hesitancy with Johnny Lee Miller and Jeremy Northam, where they're kind of like, okay, we're crossing this boundary. We've been friends for so long and now we're going into new territory. So you kind of see that hesitancy and just like where their eyes go and stuff. And I feel like that just didn't happen in this one. It just felt, like you said, a little too scripted and just didn't work.
He came in like angry. Like I feel like he was very angry when he was talking to her. And I'm like, oh, very angry.
Be happy. You're talking to the woman you love.
Yeah,
I know. And I didn't get like the vibe. I feel like in all the other ones, it's easy to be like, oh, because he's totally in love with her and here it comes. But this one, I was like, are you in love with her? Like, I feel like you're just mad, like at this whole situation.
Yeah, it's super true. And you haven't seen that one, Mindy, right? Or not for a long time? You're muted.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that. That one was a TV series, wasn't it?
Miniseries, yeah.
Miniseries, that's probably why. In 1996, I was busy doing other things in the evenings. Apparently, I didn't have time to watch it.
I didn't watch it in 1996.
I don't know. I don't think I even realized that it was there. So, no, I have not seen that. And now I don't even want to.
You should.
Not after what we said.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, let's do the Gwyneth Paltrow, that engagement and the kiss scene. I love that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like the way I don't know. You can just see that he really feels like the love when she chases back after him to get him to stop him. And then he's like talking, and then you can just feel the way that he's talking. He just softens, like you were saying, Jess, about him just being a very soft character, and he's just so sweet. I like that one. Do you guys like that scene?
That's nice.
Isn't that the one too where he takes his cane and swipes at the grass after like she's like, I don't want to talk about this. I love that.
Yeah. So good. So good.
So good. That one's so good.
Is there anything that we feel doesn't work in it? Or do you just love everything? I like everything about it. I don't think there's anything that I have to complain about it. Because the kiss was nice and sweet, and like, I think it was just really good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Okay, well, good job, Jeremy Northam. You have our approval. Then the BBC series, the Johnny Lee Miller. I will never be able to say that name again, Martha.
Sorry. I could be wrong. Maybe that announcer guy was wrong, but let's see. I just watched that one. Yeah, I like that one as well. I wish he didn't keep his arm down when you first started kissing her, but that's my main complaint.
Yeah.
Other than that, I like it.
My only thing with that is I think it's just showing how
new
awkward it is and new for him. I mean, I think you can almost see in his head him going through and going, what's going to happen now? You know, how is this going to go? We've crossed this line and you can never go back. I mean, you can almost see those thoughts playing out in his mind. And I think those arms are just kind of that, if I bring him up, then I'm committing all the more. And where do I go from here? I don't know. To me, that's, so the arms hanging there has never bothered me, actually. So.
I love the part where she reaches up softly to touch his face. And then you can just see, because usually I like the men touching the woman's face, but I really like the way that when she touched him, you can just see him like, just like sigh and like close his eyes, because you can tell he's just being affected so much by her kiss. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh, it's so romantic. It's just wonderful. It's the best. Oh, it's so nice. You like that one, Jess?
I do like that one.
Yeah. Do you still like the Jeremy Northam one better?
Of course, but I can appreciate them all.
That's good. That's a good attitude to have. Okay, and then the last one, the newest one, the amazing engagement.
Is the engagement in the last one the nosebleed?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I feel like they break it up. It's like the nosebleed and then later. It's like they take the scene and kind of break it into two parts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the best part of it is Jane Austen's writing when he's like, I don't care where I live as long as I'm with you.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with any of the other people. That was Jane Austen. So I'm going to say Jane was my best. My favorite.
Sarah just commented and said, "Ooh, the nosebleed." Yes.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I can appreciate the intent to like humanize and everything, but I just no.
I know.
It just didn't work for me. I feel like it was just so much build up to that, and it just didn't work for me. I know it worked for some people, but I just wanted my moment, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that was like the whole point of it, is that, right, it's the ultimate satire on a romance.
Yeah.
Like, having that bloody nose in that moment, it's like, no.
Yeah.
But it, like, I appreciate what they were doing, even though I didn't appreciate it that much.
I know, that's what I don't like, it when people like mess with things. Like, I'm like, you're trying to mess with my heart right now, and you're building this up because it was so good. Like the chase after the dance, and like the whole emotion, and like I was so ready for that stupid kiss, and then it was like that. It was like, what? Like, that was dumb.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the nosebleed would have been better placed at someplace like at the ball, you know, or something like that, when you're still getting those beginning emotions, and but it seems more well placed there than to like jerk me out of this moment, and I'm like, what the what?
It's true. It's super funny.
And I just wished I'd gone to the bathroom and could have imagined it in my own head how it went.
Well, that's why I think they kind of fixed it. I know that some people don't like that kiss at the end. I like their kiss at the end. I think it's super cute how like their dad, Mr. Woodhouse, is like putting up the screens all around him because he knows. Anyway, I think that's darling. And then they give you the fulfilling kiss at the end, which some people didn't like because it was loud. Who was that? Who said that? One of me. Because it was loud and you're in the room with the dad.
Yeah, I totally hear it.
Loved it. I thought that redeemed, because had they just like gone right into the like engagement point from there, like with the bloody nose, I would have been more upset. But because they divided it, I was like, fine, I'll forgive you. And then give me the fun screens and the cute kiss.
Yeah, that's true. Sarah also said, loved the new one except for that part, the nosebleed. She said, I liked in that one how Emma promises to make things right with Harriet before they really commit to each other. That's nice. I did like that. That's good. Yeah, because that's a huge thing. In the Kate Beckinsale one, that was like, she just like went right on and talked to Harriet after like the whole engagement thing, and then Harriet's like, oh, you're gonna get mad at me, but I'm in love with Robert Martin. So Kate's like, great, I can go get married, rather than there being like a heartbreak. I think that's why I like the Gwyneth Paltrow one, because they showed that sadness in Harriet as well, and like that was good. Yeah, that was good.
And I like, I was gonna say, in the new one, I like that it's not about so much like when Harriet comes, it's not even that she accepted Robert Martin. It's that her dad was coming, right? And would Emma still accept her when she knows her dad's someone who makes galoshes, you know? And so I love that you really see the transition of Emma right there, where it's like, I hope you bring him here, you know, to see us. So I think that was a good moment that some of the others don't have as much.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. I think that is everything I had, and we are about done. So that was super fun. Thanks for talking about Emma. I really enjoyed that. In 2 weeks, we'll have another ramblings, hopefully, if everything works out with the summer. But thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope you come next time. Bye.